There we are. Once again, good morning, everyone. Across from the US, from coast to coast here. We have literally from coast to coast. This morning, I was sharing something on Facebook, and I realized in that post that my team worked up for me. I was looking at all the different states, and it was pretty cool to see that it was going from California to Oregon to Washington to Texas to Illinois to North Carolina to Florida, Mississippi. I mean, it was just all over the place. It was pretty cool to be able to see that and see how much we have grown in just the last 9 months or so at this point in time. It's exciting, right? Charles and I have a conversation almost daily throughout the day. And it just never seems to end how much excitement just pouring in at this point in time. So super stoked about the growth of the company, super stoked about every single person that's called. And certainly if I haven't met you yet, welcome to the Agent Circle Live on Friday. This particular Agent Circle edition this week is going to be a little bit special. It's going to feature somebody who I can definitely consider a close friend, an amazing agent, certainly a top producer, and someone who has a lot of influence other agents in a very positive way. So with that being said, Ms. Jessica, well, actually Mrs. Jessica Smith, would you please?
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Jay. Hey guys, I feel like I know most of you, but I am Jessica Smith and I want this to be interactive. So if I miss something in the chat, please stop me and let me know and engage and ask questions and share tips. I want this to be a collaborative call. But we're going to talk about social media and how to use it to really help convert clients from stranger to client at scale on social media, or humans. But I will go ahead and share my screen and get started. Okay. Can everybody see that?
We can see it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, like I said, most of you guys know me, but I'll share a little bit about my story, why I like to talk about social media, some stuff that it's good to do before and think about before posting. And then I'll talk a little bit about the theory and I'll kind of speed right through so I can spend a lot of time giving specific content types and tactical things that you can use to create your own content and some examples. All right, well, I am here in Austin and I went to Texas A&M while we're having all the college talks, but I grew up a UT fan. But anyway, my first career was in accounting. So I worked in public accounting. I was a CPA. I was a financial analyst. So I feel like I have a little bit of a different personality than most salespeople and realtors. I started real estate part-time and I love it, but I'm kind of a spreadsheet nerd. I like the systems and I like things to balance and I like numbers and analysis. So yeah, so lead gen was a challenge and we'll get into that. But I started part-time and just from social media and referrals, I got a little bit crazy busy and I had to start a team kind of by necessity, by accident. And I've been on a journey to learn and invest and sell real estate and help realtors from then. I still am. But yeah, I have 3 kids and a husband, and I live up here in the north suburbs of Austin. But yeah, it's just always a journey. I mean, I kind of put this in there because I feel like I kind of just try things to see if I can do it. But I finally really feel like I'm in the right place, and everything, all the experiences that we've had in life are kind of leading us to this one thing. Everything kind of has built up and showed me what I need to do. And I'm so thankful I finally found Epique. So it's a journey. Let's talk a little bit about why social media. There are so many ways to lead gen. There are so many things people do successfully. And I hated them at first. I hated calling my people and doing open houses and cold calling. And there is a time and a place for that, for doing what you need to do. But also, I didn't want to have a big business that I hated. I didn't want to double that in the time I spent doing that. So I figured out for my personality, I can prospect in my PJs when I want, spend 10 minutes creating a post, and reach thousands of people. So it's scalable. There's leverage. And I think it's pretty efficient. And if you get good at it, you can really make people feel like they know you and your personality, especially with video. You can speak directly and you can target in cool ways with social media. So the goal is to build that know, like, and trust at scale. I feel like we all have people that we've never met on social media that we feel like we know. So it's cool. And you stay in front of people's faces without being awkward and begging your friends and family for referrals. So it's just a good way to get exposure. It's a good thing to learn for marketing for your clients, and you can be you. You can do it your way. If you're awkward like me, it's okay. You can be awkward. People relate to it. If you're funny, you can be funny. You know, you can do it in an authentic way. And my favorite is that people just come to you when they're ready. They may not engage with your content. They may not reach out before then, but they will DM you, or here, I think I had some screenshots of that. It's crazy, but people do reach out. Hey, do you have time? I have a question. I saw you're a realtor. And these are normally people that I've known I mean, a few of them have been cold, but somewhere in a past life, in a past job, at a past gym, you know, high school friends, college friends, different jobs I've had, but I don't think they would have called me unless we were connected on social media. So it works. And this is just an example. Does anyone know who this is? Quiz time. I'm sure some of you do.
Kendra Scott. She's my favorite.
Yeah, it's true. She started a brick and mortar jewelry store during one of the most, I mean, the toughest economic recessions. And now she is super successful. And a huge part of that is because she was an early adopter of social media, and she told her story online and really connected to her audience. So she built a huge following. And yes, we all love her. But, just an example of how business owners can use it at scale. Okay. And just a disclaimer, I took a higher level social media course. I knew it was something I wanted to get good at. And so I took the Listings Lab course by Jess 𝘍𝘳𝙀, and a lot of what I'm talking about, I learned from her in this social media course, and it's awesome. And I recommend it. And I'm happy to talk to you guys about it anytime. But the way she coaches and teaches, she wants us to pick a niche, an avatar, an ideal client. And a lot of people are pretty resistant to doing that because they think it's going to exclude everyone else. And it really doesn't. But it's really hard to talk to everyone. I feel like we've all heard that. When you talk to everyone, you talk to no one. Or if you're in a really super busy place, like Grand Central Station or something, and you yell, hey, not a lot of people are going to turn around. But if you yell mom, or if you yell Mike, then people are going to be like, oh, she's talking to me. I'm going to listen. My ears are going to perk up. I'm going to listen. So in order to pick an ideal client or an avatar, think about the types of clients that you work with, that you enjoy working with, that enjoy working with you, and think about your skill sets and what you're good at and what you love. And then the groups that you're in, that you're affiliated with. And then really ask them. Don't assume that you know what they're going through, why they reached out to you. So ask them about their fears, their desires, their motivations. And she actually had us like interview people and ask them, why was it important to you? Why did you want to move? How did that impact you? How did it impact the relationships? Like, you know, your day-to-day life, where was the pain? Moving isn't fun. People need to focus on the destination, not the process, kind of like a vacation. People don't put pictures of the plane rides. They put pictures of the beautiful beaches when you're there. So we really want to know like what motivated them to move, what reservations they had, what their biggest obstacle was when it came to finding the right realtor or the right house. And if someone created a set of services that solved these exact problems, what are some things that you would want to see in them? You can, I mean, this feedback is really helpful. And people like talking about it, and you want to improve and you want to learn more. So be curious, be conversational, and talk to your clients. So yeah, also, no one can afford to target everyone. And if we all had $1 for every call me with all your real estate needs posts, and I can help everyone, buyers, renters, sellers, call me for everyone, investors. And that kind of talks to no one. I mean, we just keep scrolling, right? So having an avatar brings clarity to your messaging, and it lets you get more specific and differentiate yourself and create some services that really help people and what they're going through. So you really want to understand the conversations that are already going on in people's heads. So, and especially now when we're trying to justify our commission and all that's going on, I have a system that is tailored to upsizers. So I have the key move up method, and it's the 5-step program that is unique, that really appeals to busy professionals, busy parents. And, we handle the make ready process and you pay me back at closing. And it has 5 steps of what I do, why I do it. And it's not just a generic buyer process or seller process. It is uniquely tailored to upsizers because that's the niche that I chose. And then on social media, I can say I help busy families to upsize using my signature system or the key move up method or whatever. So it lets you get really clear on what you do and how you're different. Okay. So after we kind of know who we want to talk to, oh, there's a chat. Hey, let me know if there's anything.
Yes.
Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. The theories of social media. So we all have businesses, we all want to advertise, but people are not on social media to be sold to or to view ads. So social media is social, it's conversational. We want to share things that are worth talking about and responding to. We don't want to just post houses, and we want to post things that people engage with. So it's shown to more and more people, and the algorithm rewards that. So in order to do that, you need to raise your ranking in the algorithm by creating better content. And then once you have some really good content out there that really shows that you know what you're doing, that really helps you emotionally connect with people and makes them feel like they know you and like you, and we can get a little bit vulnerable out there, then we have like this great business card on social media that we can use in our drip campaigns, or we could put money behind. And it's so easy to scale and to use over and over, these great evergreen pieces. So there's still some pieces of content that are, performing so well on ads that are from 5 years ago. But the better you get at creating content, the easier it will be to convert these people and have some incoming leads in your business. Just some general rules. And I know we've talked about this before, but whoever gives the most value wins. We don't need to be secretive. There's enough to go around, but really help people. People don't do this home buying process very often. It's surprising what people don't remember or don't know from the last time they purchased. And this is such a good one for realtors, and I'm victim of this sometimes too. But post for your audience, not for yourself. Don't talk to other realtors. And there's a time and a place to share all the funny realtor memes and I don't know, just all the just listed, just sold. They can go on there. I just prefer them when you're kind of telling the story of your client. So it's not like, look at me, look how awesome I am. Because nobody really cares. They just want to hear stories. I don't know. Consistency is non-negotiable, and people don't care about what you say. They care about how you make them feel. So that's why it's super important to also have some emotional content that helps connect you to your ideal client. Your content can also establish your expertise, provide social proof, which is really important, and most should be relevant year-round. So we can educate, entertain, inspire, and help our clients shift a belief that they had. So myth-busting type stuff. So the educational stuff. I mean, really, we just are educating them about something real estate related. So like I said, even if they've moved before, always don't assume they know everything. Isn't it surprising what people forget and don't know? So yeah, you can do tips, and I'll show you how to make it niche specific in a minute.
Talking shit.
Okay, sorry. Help your audience change their mind, shifting content. So it can be like moving is super stressful. and that may be a commonly held belief, but you can poke holes in it and help them understand the fallacies in their thinking and change their mind. A lot of people still assume that you need to put 20% down. So that's one of the pieces of content that I created. You don't need to put 20% down, and you actually probably shouldn't put 20% down, and here's why. So, I mean, it just kind of makes you go, what? And the spring is the best time to sell, or I should price higher just to see what happens. So put a belief that you think your people have, and then, kind of show them how you feel the opposite. The next type of content is entertain and inspire. Entertaining is not, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, and you don't have to be super funny. You can be who you are, like we were saying, but share stories that can resonate with your audience. My dad is scanning all of our old photos from when we were kids and getting them online, and like everyone is so awkward, and there are such good stories about growing up or team sports or camping, about your family, whatever it is that you want to share. Those get so much good engagement. But be yourself, let your personality shine through. You can inspire people, connect them to something you care about. But yeah, it's okay to give them an idea of who you are and what you believe as a human. Makes people feel like they really know you. And there are ways to make it niche and audience specific, and other people still read it. So, instead of just 3 tips to declutter your home before a move, you could say 3 helpful hacks to help you decide what to take and toss and donate. 3 ways that should have you were moving into your first place, or moving from an apartment to a first home. Oh yeah, there it is. 3 ways. So that's like if your niche was first time home buyers. Or 3 ways to get the kids involved in decluttering before you move for upsizers. Or 3 questions to ask yourself to decide whether you really need these knickknacks as you downsize. So pretty much the same content, but you can just tweak it a little bit to speak to your ideal client. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Does anyone have any questions so far?
No, you're all good.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then it's also, I don't know, people remember stories more than they remember facts. And so turning it into a story, and then instead of just, 3 tips to help you declutter, you could hop on the video and say, I was in between showings, just thinking about how my clients were saying they were having a tough time deciding what to take. Apparently there were lots of tears and headache. I gave them 3 tips to get the kids excited about decluttering, and I thought I'd share them with you guys too. So it makes it kind of more personal, more conversational, and it's just an easier way to communicate on social media. And just some general rules about written content. People are not there to read complex business words. We are on social and scrolling to zone out. Your content should be spaced out. It should be easy to read. We have Hemingway app that you can copy and paste and make sure it's at a grade 3 or 4 max. It's meant to be conversational and informal. We're not trying to prove how educated and amazing and that we know all these huge words. We're there to just talk to people. And then this is a tough one, but almost all social media, at least like 1/3 to 2/3, should be your face. It's called Facebook for a reason, and you are your branding. So it should be accompanied by a photo of you, your pets, your family, or your clients. Those, when the photo is that, it gets the best engagement, it gets the most looks, the most likes, the most comments. So yeah, let's put pictures of you instead of super branded stuff that kind of looks more like an advertisement. And then it's really important, the first sentence, like, people have a short attention span, and the first 10 words is when people decide if they're going to read the rest or not. I know I've seen posts that are super long in one big paragraph. It looks like one big sentence. And I'm like, no way, I'm not reading that. And then it's okay to use contractions. I mean, this is supposed to be informal and conversational. It's not like teenagers texting or anything like that. We can be a little bit professional, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So they should have a hook. You can kind of set up what you're going to talk about, why they should care, how it's relevant, tell your story, elaborate, and then wrap it up. And some content should have a call to action. The wordy post, Charles. I know it's a lot. Don't get overwhelmed. Happens to all of us.
Right.
And video. I know I totally need to do more video content. It's easier for me to do written than video, but it really helps people learn your personality and feel like they get to know you. And it should still have a hook, and it should still have a reason why people should watch your video. And most people watch videos on their phone and on when everything is on silent. So subtitles are great. And it's not like YouTube. When you're on social media, you don't need a fancy intro. You don't need music. It shouldn't feel like an ad. It should just be like a social interaction. Just turn the camera on. They should be pretty short. Again, people have really short attention spans, and you can just get right into it. But yeah, you can remind them why to watch the video and the caption. Okay. So personal content, the point of personal content is to create connection between you and your clients. So showing them that you understand them, you understand where they are in their life, and just sharing stories. I mean, I think what stands out to me since I'm a mom is when other moms, it doesn't have to be like a huge deal, but I read other moms posting about challenges and lives with their kids, and I'm like, oh yeah, she gets it. That's me. I have the same thought. You know, you just feel like, oh, she gets me. We're the same. So yeah, humans are driven by emotion. We like people who make us feel good. We feel seen and understood, and we make decisions based on emotion more than logic. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable and share, like, even just silly things. Like, I've worn different shoes half the day because I didn't notice this morning or whatever. But personal content should never look like an advertisement. It's just for connection. So it shouldn't have a call to action. You shouldn't like share a funny story about your growing up and then be like, click here for my guide. That's ridiculous. But these are also the posts that will make people want to read your posts. So it'll make people pay attention to the real estate posts when they are connected to you emotionally and like you from your personal content. So it's pretty important. Here's an example. I'm pretty lucky. It's hard to believe sometimes that I'm still here. I've seen my parents divorced, been abused, been homeless, lived in a shelter, all by the age of 7. So that's pretty real. That's pretty vulnerable. And it really makes me feel like I know him, and it's emotional, you know? So don't be afraid to practice, tell stories, tell your story. And it can even be, you know, why you're doing what you're doing. Don't talk about your mess while you're in it. We all know those people that post the clickbaity stuff that's really vague but messy, and I don't know, that just want attention. So don't be that person. And again, never have a call to action on your personal story content. Here's some more. This is me and my best friend. Just, you know, want to know what's so cool about my friends. There's a lot of stuff that makes them amazing. We all barely knew each other, but notice how it's spaced out. Notice, I don't know, just how these people are sharing in a professional way, but it's about personal stuff. This trip was the reward at the end of a 6-month deployment. During that time, I raised 3 small kids, worked a busy career, blah, blah, blah. It was tough. All right. How do we feel about personal story content? Do you think we can do it? And this lifestyle content is a little bit related. It's just who you are when you take off the real estate hat. So outside of work, you know, it just like what your hobbies are, what do you like to do? What are you watching on TV? I don't know, just kind of who you are and what you're into. So some examples of lifestyle content are, I've always loved fast cars. If you haven't watched Ted Lasso yet, you need to. We're having another baby. I may not look like it, but I love heavy metal, whatever. I'm training for my first marathon, just stuff like that. And again, it should never have a call to action. So gym stuff, keeping a gratitude journal, lifestyle content. For some reason, the personal and lifestyle stuff is tough for some people to post about. And the real estate stuff is like the tougher stuff for me to post about. There's always silly things that I can share about personal stuff. All right, the next one doesn't get a little dicey, but it's philosophy content. It kind of shows people who you are, and you can share your opinion about things. And it does draw the line in the sand. I choose to stay away from super controversial things. I don't want to alienate half of my people, but your clients do resonate with who you are and what you believe in, or if you share the same values or have a similar point of view. And it's not a bad idea to repel people that aren't your people. I know sometimes we feel like we need to work with anybody and everybody, but that can be a nightmare sometimes too. So it draws your people closer to you when you share beliefs about why you believe in something. So some examples, I didn't write all of these, by the way. Why I carry a gun at open houses, the skills I learned as a rower that make me an excellent realtor, why I run a discount real estate brokerage, how being a mom changed how I serve my clients, stuff like that. Here's some examples. Oh, I liked this one. I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned or just plain competitive, but the everyone gets a prize culture that's often practiced today just isn't our vibe. So she tells a story about how she didn't let her kid win. And then girls can do anything boys can do and vice versa. As a mom of 2 girls, it's important that my girls break out of the narrow stereotypes that society has placed on them. In our household, there are no gender-based chores, just, philosophy stuff. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that?
Is that your daughter?
Personal. No,
No?
not my content, not my daughter.
You just picks a little cute girl put up.
Yeah, I picked good content from people I follow. So now we get into the real estate stuff, the authority building. We need to show people that we kind of know what we're doing and we know a few things about real estate. So once they see who you are, how you live, what's important, that opens them up to listen to what you have to say about your occupation. So you can establish yourself as an expert by providing good advice, engaging with people, like providing them value and solutions to their problems. It should never seem super salesy, and focus on your clients, not yourself. It shouldn't just be like, I got all these diamond, gold, platinum awards. Look at me. It should be like, here's how I know how to help you, if that makes sense. Yeah, you can make it specific to your ideal clients. You can use you and speak directly to them. Like, we can help you upsize. I don't know. You can use you when you're speaking directly from social media. And your client cares more about whether you can help them meet their goals and get them from A to B than they do about your accolades and awards. So we're not on there to be negative or insult other agents. People aren't on social media to be negative. That's a quick way to get muted. And then you can just teach them something quickly. Or 5 ways to get your kids involved in decluttering, how to tell the kids you're selling, 3 questions to ask your home inspector, 3 factors I use to find market value, 5 questions to ask yourself if you're considering a fixer-upper, or 3 tax breaks you should know about. So just giving them a little bit of value. Here's some examples. Would you ever consider drilling your own teeth? Oh, I have a question. That's the headline. Sorry. No, we leave that to the experts. So why are you trying to take care of your pre-sale home renos yourself? If you've never tiled a bathroom or tiled anything, why would you think you're competent and experienced enough to start now? So that one's cool and readable. And then when's the right time to buy your first house or condo? That's an extremely easy question that's complicated by so many. You should buy as soon as you possibly can. Save, 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 then buy and repeat. And then, oops, when I'm showing houses, I have one that's like, my eyes are trained like a sniper. I see different things when walking through a home. You're probably noticing the ugly carpet, this and that. Here are the things I'm looking for. That kind of covered up most of the content, but see how most of these are photos of the agents and their families. That is a hint on how to create good content. And then myth busting. It's almost the same. It's just kind of reframing something that is an assumption that many people have. And these can have a call to action. So it would be 5 things you need to know before using a discount broker. What happens when you price your home above market value? Is spring the best time to sell? Are home inspections really necessary? Are you thinking of just using the listing agent to purchase your first home? Think again, it could cost you thousands. So people would read that, People might be thinking about that. To save them money, they'll just use the listing agent. Here's that one. I was saying, unpopular opinion alert. You don't have to and probably shouldn't put 20% down. So I kind of go through it and talk about some other things people can do with their money and look at the difference between the payments. You don't need to stage in a seller's market. Yeah, you don't have to brush your teeth for a job interview either, but chances are it'll go better if you do. So kind of why to stage, even if it's a strong market. And then we get into some more niche specific stuff, like pains and problems that your ideal client might be having, and then remind them that you're the solution to their problem. Your set of services are their aspirin. And these also do have a call to action, like download the guide, or I don't know, a call to action can be as little as comment an emoji or something like that, but some of your content should have one and some of it shouldn't. So for example, pain problem content could be like, you don't remember when your family became one of those families that yell all the time. You don't agree with your partner on what you want for your first home. You dread going up and down the stairs if it was downsizers. So stuff like that. Here's some examples of pain and problem content. The kids moved out years ago, and although it took some time, you got used to the quiet. But since the loss of your spouse, the quiet is deafening. The house feels so empty and so big. It's a waste, you know, stuff like that. Why are there so many stairs, etc. And then different content about how your solution is different and better. So process solution, how your process solves their problems. These are, I need to go post some more of these. It's been a while, but here's one of mine. You want to move, but your husband wants to stay. You want to pull, your wife doesn't. You want to move further out, your husband wants to stay close. You can't decide. This is why the first step one of our method is the game plan meeting, where we just get everything out on the table, hash it out, talk about pros and cons. Everyone gets to say their opinions, even the kids. And then we ultimately start to get on the same page and excited about the game plan. And then this does have a call to action. Check out the link in my bio to download your free copy of the Key Move Up method. And my favorite type of content, because it's super easy and fast to create and it starts so many conversations, is the question. It's just to engage. It's just to show Facebook that you are creating engaging content. I mean, it also is good to actually start conversations. This is a relationship business, but they're just a question. And so it fosters engagement. I've done like, what did you want to be when you grew up? Or what's a song that you know every word to? Or they're just fun. And it can be like, what should we watch on Netflix or whatever? But you'd be surprised. Sometimes I get hundreds of comments on there, and sometimes people are really funny, or like favorite dad joke, because I'm a dad joke person and I love it. But every now and then, maybe every couple weeks or every 10 days, just post a question. And if you haven't posted in a while, it's easy. But it'll improve your algorithm and get Facebook and Instagram showing your content to more people. And you can kind of get to know people. So fun and easy. And then social proof. So this is other people telling everyone how great you are. So it affirms and validates your expertise. And you actually have to earn it because it's testimonials and stuff like that. Video testimonials are awesome. Case studies are kind of like you telling the story. They can be good with tough situations and you can kind of spin it how you want. But it's good to tell a story and talk about where people were at the beginning, what they went through, any challenges that they had, and then where they are now. So how you helped them. But I had a couple days to find these professional soccer players a house, and I told the story of them. So it is good. If you have PR, that is great content to build social proof with leads and clients. That just really shows people that you're good at what you do, you're professional. So PR is awesome. Testimonials and case studies are also good. And then here's some examples of headlines, and I will share these slides with you guys. So it's just things that kind of make people slow down the scrolling and listen. Some learn how to do, one quick trick, you know, just hacks or lessons you've learned. It's good for the value and educational content. So you write out your content, you record your video, you add your photo of yourself, and then a quick check after is, am I writing this with a tone that sounds like I'm talking to my best friend? Is it clear and communicative? Is it filled with love and attention? Does it make sense? And is it simple enough for anyone to understand? And then you can eliminate some fluff if you're wordy like me. And I know this seems overwhelming. It's a lot, but to simplify, we just have to start. We just have to start somewhere. So I like to share with my agents every week, just create one personal content. So either lifestyle, personal story, something just that's about you personally. And then one real estate post. So either a testimonial or a tip, trick, some kind of value add. And then maybe one community related too. So you can kind of be the little mayor of your community. People like those lists and people engage with it. And people always want to know what the hotspots are or cool new local places and stuff like that. And then you can throw in questions every now and then. And I post the same exact content on my personal Facebook account, on my business account, and on my Instagram account, which is like a mix of both. But you don't get reach if you just post on your business page. So try to make it into a story so you can post it on your personal page. And that's where everyone sees your content anyway. So that's what I do. I try to do it on not the same day, but sometimes when I'm busy, I just post it all on the same day in all the different places. Okay. So as a summary, key points, posting is better than not posting. Like, honestly, if you even just post like, I'm a realtor every day, that's not ideal and whatever, but people, it's better than not posting. Done is better than perfect. And people may not know that you're a realtor and it may get you a lead, who knows? But I mean, we tend to be perfectionists. So the only way to learn is to take action. And my image is take action like Bambi on ice. So even if you're falling everywhere and all over the place and it feels so uncomfortable and cringy, guess what? So it's also super uncomfortable to live in fear, not have enough clients, struggle to pay your bills, go have to get a job like at Walmart or at roofing or something. Like, this is not that hard in the scheme of things, is what I have to tell myself. And this is a little intense, but I picture like kneeling down to my 5-year-old and explaining that we can't go do fun things. We can't go to Disney because mommy was a coward and didn't want to post on social media. Because in the end, it's good to remember why we're doing this. Like, it's not about what people think of us. It's about our family, and the people that love us are going to love us, you know, if they are our good friends and stuff. So the people that resonate will respond positively. If it's too much, people can hide you, like, no big deal, but just do it. What do y'all think? Who's going to get more consistent with me posting on social media this year?
Nobody? I will.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna do it. That's been like my biggest area of opportunity is that posting on social media. Yeah.
I like what you said, Jessica. It's, you know, and this is something that I have said many times, every single day. In fact, it's about progress. It's not about perfection. And to your point, just even posting, I am a realtor, literally every single day, you're 100% right. It's better than not posting anything at all. And because of how social media work in general, I think we already know this already. If you are not consistent, you get buried. That feed is just moving along every single minute of the day. That's why if you want to be seen, you got to actually put something up. Now, having stuff on there for a day or 2 or 5 days is great. But again, no one ever sees it again because no one's actually going to go to your website or your profile to look it up. So when you put something up, it obviously puts it back up and put you in front of people again. So it is all about consistency. And the quality, or even what you're saying there, is, to be honest with you, it's actually secondary, right? Because the most important thing is just do it anyways. I can't say how many times I say that every single day. And I mean, even last week, we had somebody who said, it's just a matter of just putting yourself out there and putting the information out there. I know, like, for example, JJ, I know I've been following him for some time. He's been just constantly just putting stuff out on a daily. And I know he's seeing a lot of traction. A lot of people are obviously reaching out to him. That works. Jessica, you're the same thing. In fact, with you, Jessica, I think it's several times per day, right? I know Jasmine is another one that's just throwing out stuff like 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. Again, that's why it works. No one is going to go to you or even know you exist if you're not even putting yourself out there in the first place so that you exist. It's just not that complicated.
It's true. And then you can't help but get better at it because you'll learn what people like, what people engage with, and stuff that I don't think anyone is going to care about gets a ton of engagement sometimes. And people are like, oh my gosh, you should write a book. And just old stupid stories of when I was dating or like the worst date you've ever had. That's good content. That's funny. Like I want to know all of your stories, but yeah, it gets kind of fun when you start getting better and get good feedback.
I
Sorry,
appreciate
Rachel.
Go
what I've
ahead.
taken from this is that I'm doing social media, obviously, but I'm not asking questions or getting engagement, and I'm never telling stories about myself. So those are 3 things that I'm definitely going to take away from this and use.
Awesome.
I've got a bunch of ideas I've already written down, so I love it.
Hey, I can't wait to see it. And you're posting great content. And sometimes people don't engage. So it's not all about the vanity metrics and the likes and the comments. Like people are still watching and they just won't engage until they're ready and then they'll reach out to you. So don't worry about that all the time. But yeah, I can't wait to hear your stories. Oh, and then David, awesome. David, you asked, why not LinkedIn? This is just where I started, Facebook, Instagram, and it depends on your ideal client. So if I was targeting young professionals, then I think they would be on LinkedIn more. It just depends on you, and you can always share everything on LinkedIn. I'm kind of a proponent on done is better than perfect. If you work really hard to create some great content, why not share it on all the places? But I don't know if LinkedIn is the best place to share like my most embarrassing moment as a teen. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not a LinkedIn expert.
Probably not.
More professional.
One quick tip for you guys, because I see this all the time. So many agents are not putting on their profile that they're a real estate agent. So make sure that you've got it on there that you are a real estate agent, because that's a great way to pick up referrals too. If there's other agents and you connect with them, that's, I think that's so crazy. Like if we're in this industry and we're not advertising that we are a real estate agent, that's a huge opportunity lost. And then just consistently posting, at least once or twice a day and just getting in the habit of that. I sometimes forget, but you could also auto post, like you could go and you can schedule it. I know you can schedule it through Facebook, and then Canva has a really cool content scheduler where you can actually create the content and then you can just put a date on it as to when it'll post. And that's very helpful.
Absolutely. I definitely do that too. And you can post in stories like day in the life stuff or just little stuff that is less, I don't know, maybe more day to day. What do you guys think about stories?
No,
I do my
stories-
morning
stories.
comments.
So for Jessica, Jasmine, and I think Rachel, because you guys are really consistent on social media, how are you guys coordinating these posts? Are you actually using some sort of like Hootsuite or something like that to actually push out these posts through all the different platforms?
For me, I'm starting to use the Canva so I can schedule it. I just have a timer set up on my phone where it'll remind me, because I would eventually like to just have like Mondays or like content days, and I'm scheduling everything for the prior weeks, because then it makes life a lot easier. Because I have gone sometimes where it's been like 2 or 3 days and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to do a post. So it just gets too stressful with everything going on and trying to manage your business. So I highly recommend something like Hootsuite. But I think what Epique is going to be bringing on, I think is it called Social Bay?
Social Bay.
Yeah, so that is actually going to be helping us a lot, where it is very similar to a Hootsuite. So it's like if you create content, it'll post for you on all your platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, all of them.
Well, it actually takes it a step further because it actually aggregates, it plugs directly into the MOS.
Oh, wow.
IDX. And so we're able to pull in all the stats, the market area numbers, and then it turns it into a beautiful post for you. So all you do is simply allow it to actually post on whichever platform you wanted to do. The other thing that it actually is pretty amazing at, it actually creates graphics and videos. Yeah, high-end, nicely polished videos and graphic. And the best part about it is branded to you. So now you have well done social media material to push out all specific to you as the agent. That's
wow.
another really powerful thing, why we are so excited about it.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Great. Yeah, and my answer is similar to Jasmine's. I always say I'm gonna time block and produce, a whole batch of content while I'm in creative mode. But typically it's like ideas come to me at random times during the day, and I have all these unfinished content ideas and posts in the notes section of my phone. So I'll just go in there and get one and pick a photo and post it. But I also have my VA send me reminders. You can automate reminders too. But I have a social media calendar with a whole post idea and prompt for every single day that I'm also happy to share.
JJ is called 𝘍𝙬𝙬𝙦𝙬, but it is something that you're going to get access to through Epique anyhow. So you probably don't need, well, it's nothing to download right now. I don't want until it goes live. It is being worked on right now. To the counterpart of it, you can do that certainly. And we touch on stuff like 𝘍𝙬𝙬 and Hootsuite and whatnot. They all have some sort of built-in counter. In fact, each one of the social media platform, if you activate like the business counter, the professional mode, depending on what platform, you have the ability to also schedule out the posts, and you have a counter built into that as well. So there's a lot of ways to really be really organized. The most important thing is actually having something to say, right? Whatever it may be, and just saying it. And again, going back to what you said earlier, Jessica, which again, I say many times myself, which is, again, progress is better than perfection. Stop sitting there trying to think about like the perfect line, the perfect thing to say, because the truth of the matter is, it's depending on the size of the audience, it literally may only reach 3 people. So just get it out there so that you can get the attention, because that's what it comes down to. No one knows you do what you do to be able to come to you if you're not really saying what you do. That's
True.
it. Right?
True. And don't be scared to get haters. I feel like I've made it if I have a hater. And I have had people that didn't like a couple of posts that, maybe philosophy or something, but
So are you suggesting that we should thumb down on your post now?
well, y'all can't be my haters, but other stranger losers in their parents' basement can. It's fine.
So I learned 2 things from you today, Jessica. The first is, first of all, just putting stuff out there, right? And putting your face out there. Now, that is true. And I've heard that many times as well from other people who are really successful on social media. So my next game plan here for the next, I guess, 50 days is going to be 50, I guess somebody said it earlier, 50 shades of J. You're going to see 50 J's every single day for the next 50 days. That's the first thing. The second thing I've learned is that I think we all should just follow Jessica and just steal her ideas when she put them up. Makes our job a lot easier, because I know. By the way, I'm honestly, I'm already doing that. But anyways,
this
Hey,
week I was like, oh man,
another-
I've got to produce some content.
Another thing I wanted to tell you guys, don't get discouraged if you're making posts and you're not getting people liking it. I've had people where they don't ever like a post or comment or anything, but then when they'll see me, they're like, oh, so I noticed that you posted this or that. Like they know like everything I'm posting, but they're not, liking anything or commenting. So people are watching, just keep doing it,
Yeah.
Consistency is key.
100%.
A bunch of friends I hadn't seen in a long time, and they knew all this stuff, and they were like, yeah, we see you all over social media. I was like, oh, kind of embarrassing. I don't know what you guys saw, but no, it's true. People are watching whether they're commenting or not.
Yeah. On the topic of, especially if you are looking at connecting with other real estate agents and whatnot, what I found personally over the last year or so is that the majority of the people who reach out to me, real estate agents, they don't like my posts. They just reach straight out directly to me.
Yeah.
That's how they're getting it. So I'm not seeing like the thumbs up, the hearts, or anything like that. It's just simply, sometimes it's just nothing at all. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I saw this. I know Memo mentioned to me the other day, he says, I spoke to a guy and he said he reached out to you. And I was like, yeah, that's how he found me too. Just simply because on social media.
Me too.
Again, he wasn't even liking anything that I put up. But he was paying attention. So it does make sense. And that's the same thing. It goes, obviously, if you're looking for buyers and sellers, the same thing. Sometimes people just don't simply react, but they are watching, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. Jessica, you were amazing. Thank you so much. So that's part 2 right there. We have a part 3, hopefully in the near future here, we're still working on. So that'd be awesome.
Wait, Jay, I wanted to say one thing. I was listening to everything. One, I wanted to know where Jessica got that light behind her, the epic thing. But on the posting, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Social Studio on Chime. It's amazing. Like, so it's like $19 a month for an individual, and it's like $39 for a team. You can post from any of your listings, create your own content, and you can do it like whatever day you want, whatever time you want. It's an entire calendar. You can set it up for weeks, months at a time. I would highly suggest looking into it. It's pretty awesome.
No, it is pretty awesome, and because it is plugging directly into Lofty, so it's aggregating and pulling the data, and then of course nurturing the prospect all in one place. The only reason why I haven't really mentioned that too much is because it's a separate another fee, and because we're obviously rolling out with Social Bay, and that's completely free to Epique agents. That's the reason why we didn't put too much light on that. But you're right, Paul. It is 100% a very powerful thing you can also utilize as well.
I mean, I'll probably switch over once they have it. I just thought it was cool because I used to use Hootsuite, but I find Hootsuite is limited in some of the things you can do, character content, how you do it. I used to have to actually type notes in my note app to do like the hashtags and then copy and paste into Hootsuite because it would only let me do so much. So I found with that one was great, but I'm looking forward to the other one too. But I figured y'all knew about it, just no one mentioned it, and I see why.
Jessica just posted the link to the Epique sign in on the wall in the back behind her there.
Thank you. That's
y'all,
so cool.
this isn't the exact one. The sellers that sent me mine are no longer on Etsy. And it was kind of a pain in the butt. I had to like hire an electrician, and the installation wasn't my favorite, but I have tried to share that link, but they're not on there. But it's something very similar to this one. So it's just like a custom sign that's backlit, and then you send them the logo, and then they send the sign, and it's up to you to—
Oh, come on, admit it. You didn't want anybody else to have it, so you shut them down.
I mean, no, I want everyone to have it. It's like my little halo sometimes, but no,
it is a pretty cool thing in the back.
It's awesome. I love that thing.
Thanks. And yes, Lorenzo, I will share the social media calendar and the slides. Absolutely. I can post them in the performance script.
Once again, Jessica, thank you so much for today. Next week, we have another session, Friday, 9 a.m. And I think a few people were asking me, it's like, when does these sessions happen? Guys, these sessions happen literally every Friday. It has been going on technically for the last 9 months, every Friday, every single week. So this is not a new event. So please come join us. And it is because this is also an open event. That means that you can bring any guests you like from any brokerage, from anywhere. In fact, if you want to bring just your kids, that's perfectly fine too. We don't have any problem with that. Come on, come on. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see everyone next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Thanks, Jessica.
Bye.